About 18 days ago, we passed a state budget. It became law 5 days thereafter without the signature of the governor. I have a vivid image of that day, August 31st, that evening, and into the early hours of the next day, September 1st. And that was after the final vote was taken. There was a lot of high fives, hugs, smiles from our good friends, the Democrats on the other side of the aisle. And it sort of gave the impression of someone watching that there was a completion, that we had succeeded, that we were finally able to end the longest budget battle in the state of Connecticut, and that all things would be right. Well, we know that that is not the case. In particular, one of the budget that was passed had several bits of bad news for our municipalities and boards of education. Just to name a few. First of all, the budget cut funding to the Pequot Fund by $25 million per year for a total of $50 million over the biennium to our towns and cities. It cut the Early Reading Success Program by $4.8 million. It cut local and district departments of health by $2.2 million over a 2-year period. It cut regional planning agencies by $1.5 million, and it also put a moratorium on school construction by eliminating the debt service on that by $7.8 million. We've also learned in the last 3 weeks, as school is probably entering its 3rd or 4th week, we learned that population in public school systems all over the state is up. Why? Obvious, the economy. People who may have sent their children to private or parochial schools are not in a position to do so anymore, so they enroll their kids in public schools. So the public school system in particular, and municipalities in general, and towns and municipalities in general, are hurting at this time. We did not help matters by prolonging the budget decisions for the longest period of time in the state's history. And we now find ourselves approximately a week before we are to go back into session to do the budget implementers. And what we as both caucuses are asking for is frankly something that we have been touting since November of 2008. And that is to give relief to our towns and municipalities by way of relieving them of mandates. We have 5 in particular. These should not be news to anyone. We have introduced these in committees and on the floor of the House not once, not twice, not 3 times, but a total of 6 times to date. And each and every time, in November, in January, in April, in June, in August, and September, we have been told by the Democrats, not now, not yet. We want a public hearing. We have a bill that's pending, etc. Well, all those excuses are done. We now have a budget. We know for a fact that municipalities are struggling, and we are asking for relief. We are asking once again for the delay in the implementation of the in-school suspension mandate until July of 2012. We're asking for the delay in the implementation of Raise the Age mandate, which would save approximately $95 million in this biennium. We're asking that we require a 2/3 vote in both chambers as we go forward to enact laws that would place mandates on municipalities, resulting in fewer mandates and hopefully future savings. We're asking for delay the website mandate, requiring local governments and public agencies to post minutes and agendas, et cetera, on their websites. And we're also asking once again for the addition of the word services to the list of cooperative purchasing contracts that DAS can enter into for the municipalities. These are just some of the things that we are asking for on behalf, and I stress on behalf, of the towns and municipalities throughout the state of Connecticut who have been begging for this relief for almost a year now and have not been given any sign that this would come true. Just to show you in the area of the in-school suspension, and I know you've heard some of these statistics before, but now especially that school is in session about 3 weeks now, our representatives and senators have been getting calls from their superintendents of schools, their mayors, their first selectmen about the cost of these mandates if nothing is done. For example, the in-school suspension mandate will cost the city of Bridgeport approximately $600,000 per year. And I don't think it's news to anyone that the city of Bridgeport is suffering right now, certainly under this economy and certainly with regard to this budget. My town, Norwalk, Connecticut, estimates $250,000 per year expenditure to comply just with the in-school suspension mandate. Smaller towns, North Branford, $42,000 per school year. New Milford, $36,000 per school year. Stanford school system, anywhere between $360,000 and $600,000 per year, and the list goes on and on. This is a time that we could keep our promise. These are promises not just delivered by the Republicans, but also our Democratic colleagues who over and over throughout the session said, hold on, towns and municipalities, relief is on its way. We have one more shot to do this, and that's next week, and that's why Senator McKinney and myself are standing here requesting our majority party, we've done so in writing as well, to include in the budget implementers this relief from mandates on our municipalities.